Hi guys, my name is Rick Schiffauer. I want to take some time to shoot a video on World Pancreatic Cancer Day, which is today. So I challenge everybody to please watch this video to the end. I'd appreciate it, and I promise you there's a point to it. If for some reason you don't watch it to the end, I do ask that everybody please share this video. One, for pancreatic cancer awareness, and two, for the message in the end of what we're trying to accomplish through this. So I thank you, and as always, I thank my prayer nation. Quick little summary. A lot of you know my story. A lot of you may not have heard my story. I'm just going to tell a little excerpt of it and tell you a little bit about my prayer nation, which is vitally important in my recovery of this. And back in October 27th of 2020, I went in for a Whipple surgery, and I was told I was stage 1 pancreatic cancer, and which was still very alarming. But I woke up in recovery and heard that we had aborted the Whipple, and you're now stage 4. And remember that day like it was yesterday. Went up into recovery, and my doctor came in pretty quickly and dropped this bombshell on me, which I'll never forget. You've got 1 year to live. And I challenge everybody to pause and think about that a little bit. If somebody was to tell you you've got 1 year to live, what would race through your mind? And for me, I instantly thought of my wife. I've got 5 children, 3 of who are adults, 2 are little. At the time were 10 and 11. I thought about my grandchildren. I've got 3, and how their lives would dramatically be different and how they would be challenged. And as you can imagine, I sat and I cried about it, and I thought about it, and then tried to come up with a game plan on how to attack it. And so my first goal was I got out of the hospital, I went home and discussed it with my wife. We told all 5 of our children what was going on, including the little ones. And then I started doing research. And I was blessed because somebody sent me an article about a good friend of mine now, who I didn't know at all then, Camille Moses. And I reached out to Camille. I had to Facebook stalk her to find her, and I reached out to her, and she was gracious enough to talk to me for 2 hours and started giving me some optimism. And then she introduced me to Roger Magowitz, who runs the Seena Magowitz Foundation in honor of his late mother, who passed from pancreatic cancer. And he got the wheels in motion to introduce me to a bunch of other people. Which was Craig Helmers. Craig is a very good friend of mine now, and I talked to Craig for quite a while. Stan Viticus, who I talked to Stan, and Steve Melke and Nate Pruitt, which unfortunately are no longer with us. But all 6 of those people started giving me optimism in my battle to beat pancreatic cancer. And it started out very well for me. I went on to chemo, and Roger introduced me to Honor Health and Dr. Von Hoff and Dr. Baranci. And so I got a team of doctors in Scottsdale, Arizona, and one here, Dr. Zittel, in Rochester, New York at Wilmot Cancer Center, where it's all phenomenal. And they got me onto the Fulferinox, and Lord and behold, by May, I was getting clean scans. And I said, man, all right, here we go. I got this thing beat. And I was convinced that I had it beat. Well, I was wrong. It came back in just about a month ago. It showed up in my liver again in the scan. And as you can imagine, I was taken right back to that place of you've got 1 year to live, and all the emotions I felt when I heard that. I'm at a year. I've already lived a year. I've already beat that expectation, and I plan on living a lot longer. But I had to deal with all that. Oh my God, here we go. How fast could it be possible that I go? And I knew I needed to get out to Scottsdale and talk to my doctors out there, and they were very optimistic about my situation and picked my spirits right back up and got me back on plane. And then I had to remind myself that this is a battle. There's ups and downs that come within it, and you know, again, Roger, Camille, and Craig, I talked to a lot through those difficult days that I had after that diagnosis. My wife, my brother John, who also is battling cancer, and helped get my head back on straight, and just realized that I can beat this, but it's going to be a little bit of a road to beat it. But you know, I then turned my attention to not only my family and making sure that my family is happy and cherishing every day that I have here and I do now. Your whole perspective when you hear you have 1 year to live changes. The way you approach life, the thought patterns when the littlest of things happen. When I watch my girls play softball, which we're big into softball, Riley and Kendall, my two biggest motivators in this, because they're still today only 11 and 12. And you go through your mind, will this be the last year I see them play? Will I ever see them play high school ball? Will I ever see them graduate? Will I be here to help them with their homework? Will I be here to chase off those boys that I'm going to have to make sure don't get come around the house too early? All those things go through your mind. You know, my wife and I just purchased another home. I had to debate, should I do that? Should I not do that? And the ultimate answer I came up with is, I got to proceed with my life as if I'm going to be here and be confident in that. I got to throw my head over the fence and then make sure I'm here to go get it. And that's the way I've chose to attack this. One of the biggest things about pancreatic cancer is the success rates. If you look at statistically the survival rates, you know, I can see why people just give up right out of the gate. Only 5% make it past 5 years. Those are bad statistics. Those are bad numbers. But that's old data too. And we realize that the numbers are coming up and the treatments are getting better. And here's the thing where I need your guys' help. Here's the thing where I need my Prayer Nation, who has been unbelievable in my support in keeping my spirits up. Whenever I post, there's 1,000 or so interactions. That's amazing. I thank all you guys for taking an interest in my life. But here's where I need your help. We got to raise money to find a cure for this. And the cure will follow the money, as Stan said last night in the podcast I watched. And I couldn't agree more. And my goal with this first campaign that I'm launching is to raise $50,000 just from this video. I have a very good friend of mine that wants to remain anonymous, but is going to match dollar for dollar every donation made, which means if we raise $50,000, he's going to put in $50,000. An amazing gesture. So I can't say it enough, but I ask everybody, even if it's only $5 or $10 that you can give, please give. I never knew pancreatic cancer would come into my world. I didn't even know what it was before I was diagnosed back in 2020. And we can make a difference, and we can make a big difference. And all the money, you can click on the link that'll be included in this post, but all the money will go to Seena Magowitz Foundation, which is an amazing organization. And they fund the research done by Dr. Von Hoff at Honor Health in Scottsdale, Arizona, which is where I go to. We can make a difference. I hope you guys stay healthy. If anybody has anybody that's struggling with cancer and needs somebody to talk to, I'm here. I'd be more than willing to talk to them. And we can beat this. And I'll say in closing, as much as I've heard that this is a terminal disease, pancreatic cancer, I don't believe that to be true. I know it's not true. I look at Camille, who's been cancer-free for 9 years after telling her that she only had 3 to 4 months to live. I look at Craig, who's battling and still doing well 3 years in. I look at Stan, who I believe now, Stan, you're 13 years in and had 2 Whipple procedures. We can make a difference. We can survive. It's not terminal, and all starts with us believing, and it believes in us believing that we can find a cure. I do believe that we can. I know that we will, and we will make a difference. I appreciate you guys taking the challenge and watching this to the end. Thank you. And I thank again my prayer nation. God bless you all.